Hi there, I'm Karen McCarthy, and it's time to Karen-ize. Today's Wednesday when we talk about spiritual health, and I want to talk to you about something that I think I've touched on before, but I have this really cool story. I love stories, don't you? That illustrates it. So I found it's like a stop sign, and it says, sometimes God stops us on the road. Maybe we're too busy, maybe we're about to stumble, maybe he just wants to talk to us. It's our time to stay and spend with him, reflecting and examining. And that reminded me of what I call God-induced vacations. I've had many of these in my lifetime, and no, they're not exciting trips to Hawaii or energizing mountain retreats or something like that. The God-induced vacations usually knock me off my feet with some illness. And you'd think I'd learn, wouldn't you? But the vacations they're like much needed wake-up calls from a very loving father who says, Karen, you're doing too much. You're not taking care of yourself. Stop. Take care of yourself. And you know what? It's almost always because I've taken on too much doing things for him. So I don't know, has that ever happened to you? We add so many things to our busy schedule that we begin to have no time to spend with him. And you think, oh, that's okay. I mean, he'll understand, because after all, these things are for him. You know, I'm busy because I'm doing things for him. I'm, leading a Bible study, teaching a Sunday school class, working at a food bank, whatever it is, visiting the shut-ins. It's all his work. So that's spending time with him, right? I've done that so many times in my life. But God actually commands us to take time to rest. Now, we talked about that a few weeks ago. I mean, God took the seventh day after creation to rest, even though I'm sure he didn't need to. But as an example to us, the 10 Commandments, one of them is to observe the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. And it's a day of, what do we call it? Rest. I can think of two reasons that God gives us this, I can't talk, gives us this command. The first, of course, is that our bodies need that downtime. I mean, we were created to need some downtime. And when we don't take it, we can get a lot of problems. We're more stressed out, we're more fatigued, we have a compromised immune system, blah, blah, blah. You get the picture, right? But the other reason is even more important. When we are that busy and we're not taking care of ourselves, we're also compromising our relationships with family, with friends, and with God. So think of it this way. If I work 80 hours a week so I can provide my family with a McMansion, all the coolest toys, wonderful vacations, that I see many people spending more time on their computer or phone, working, or not spending that quality time with their family, but being consumed by their electronics. The best of everything I'm giving them, is that enough? I'm sure many of you have heard this following story, but it's a reminder of what's really important. So let me read it to you. Son, Daddy, may I ask you a question? Yeah, sure. What is it? Daddy, how much do you make an hour? That's none of your business. Why do you ask such a thing? I just want to know. Please tell me, how much do you make an hour? If you must know, I don't know what job this guy has, but I've never had this one. I make $100 an hour. Son, oh, and his head went down. Son, Daddy, may I please borrow $50? The father was furious. Sorry. Did you go potty? Good boy. Yes, but always have to affirm the dogs. The dad says, if the only reason you asked is so that you can borrow some money to buy a silly toy or some other nonsense, then you march yourself straight to your room, young man, and go to bed. Think about why you're being so selfish. I work hard every day for this childish behavior. The little boy quietly went to his room and shut the door. The man sat down and started to get even angrier about the little boy's questions. How dare he ask such questions about money? After an hour or so, the man calmed down and started to think, well, maybe there was something he really needed to buy with that $50, and he really didn't ask for money very often. So the man went to the door of the little boy's room and opened it. Are you asleep, son? No, Daddy, I'm awake. Dad says, I've been thinking. Maybe I was too hard on you earlier. It's been a long day and I took out my aggravation on you. Here's the $50 you asked for. The little boy sits straight up smiling. Oh, thank you, Daddy. Then reaching under his pillow, he pulled out some crumpled up bills. The man saw that the boy already had money and started to get angry again. The little boy slowly counted out his money and then looked up at his father. The dad said, "Why do you want more money if you already have some?" "Because I didn't have enough, but now I do. Daddy, I have $100 now. Can I buy an hour of your time? Please come home early tomorrow. I would like to have dinner with you." Oh, the father was crushed. He put his arms around his little son and begged for his forgiveness. It's just a short reminder of all of us working so hard in life. We shouldn't let time slip through our fingers without having spent some time with those who really matter to us, those close to our hearts. Do remember to share that $100 worth of your time with someone you love. Do we do that often enough? If we die tomorrow, the company that we're working for could easily replace us in a number of days. But the family and friends we leave behind will feel the loss for the rest of their lives. And come to think of it, do we pour ourselves more into work than into our family? What really is the lasting benefit? Just as that child wanted to spend time with his father, quality time, God wants to spend time with us. Hosea 6:6 says it very well. "For I desire steadfast love and not sacrifice, the knowledge of God rather than burnt offerings." All the business in the world cannot, and I lost my other part of my notes. Anyway, all the busyness in the world cannot make up for quality time spent with us. So make sure that you're making quality time for your friends and family, more than just a little text. Sometimes a text is a great thing. A phone call is a great thing just to let them know that we're remembering them. But be sure that you're also finding time to spend with them. Now, if they're long distance, we have these great things now. We can do Zoom calls and things like that. But it doesn't always have to be in person. But for me, that's the best thing of all. And this, for me, maybe it's my age, I don't know, is so much better than a text because you're actually talking. Anyway, some food for thought, and I will talk to you next time.